Alright, so let's look at together topic 1, MFRS 116. So number 1, define property, plant and equipment. Okay, so this is the learning objective for this topic. Number 1 is to define property, plant and equipment. Okay, there are 13 altogether. Okay, but we are going to cover only the first 4 for today. Okay, number 1, define property, plant and equipment. Number 2, explain the recognition criteria of property, plant and equipment, which I believe you already covered in part 3. Okay, and then number 3, determine the initial cost of property, plant and equipment. You also covered this part previously, but only for a few ways of purchasing the asset. There are many ways of you to purchase the asset. All right. Okay. So how to identify the initial cost of PPE. All right. And then number 4, to show the relevant accounting entries for the acquisition of property, plant and equipment and disclosure in the statement of financial position. All right. So for today, we are going to look at these first 4 and then we're going to leave the rest. Okay, for the next following weeks. All right, so let's look at the next slide. All right, the definition. So these are the definition, okay, the keywords that I'm looking for. So when I mark your question, usually I'm looking for these keywords lah. Okay, I'm looking for tangible, okay, and then use for what purpose, all right, and then how long you are going to use the asset. So PPE are tangible items held for use in the production of goods and services, rental to others, and or for administrative or maintenance purposes, and are expected to be used during more than one reporting period. All right. Okay. However, this standard MFRS 116 are not asset held for sale, completed investment properties, leases, biological asset, exploration and evaluation asset, and mineral rights and reserve. All right. Okay, another question that I would like to ask you, since you already passed your paper for 270, I think most of students, okay, got a very good result for their courses last semester. Okay, so another question that I would like to ask is, okay, let me highlight. Okay, rental. Okay, rental. If so, PPE are property, plant, and equipment. So my question is, if you rent out land and building to the other party, can we recognize that property as PPE? All right. So for property, plant, and equipment, if you rent to the other party, then it will fall under investment
Property.
MFRS 140. So why we have rented to others here? The reason is because in property, plant and equipment, other than property, we have plant and equipment, okay, which you may rent out to the other party. So this item still can be classified as property, as plant and equipment under PPE. Okay, but for property, however, if you rent out to the other party, then you have to recognize that under different standard, which is MFRS 140. Okay, all right. Okay, other definitions. So these are the other definitions, okay, for the terms that you may find, okay, that you may find most of the time, okay, in this standard MFRS 116, okay, which are the carrying amount, the cost, fair value, and recoverable amount. Okay, previously you may not heard of a recoverable amount, or you may have, I'm not sure, but in this FAR 320, okay, other things that we add to the standard, okay, other than what you have learned before, related to the definition, recognition criteria, the initial cost, okay, you are going to learn also MFRS 136, impairment of asset. Okay, so that's why we have this definition as well here. Okay, so the carrying amount, I'm sure most of you already know what is the carrying amount. Okay, the cost after deducting any the amount at which asset is recognized after deducting any accumulated depreciation, okay, and accumulated impairment loss. All right, and then the cost. Okay, when I talk about the cost, I'm referring to, okay, I might be referring to cash, meaning that the cost is not limited to cash, but cash or cash equivalent, or cash equivalent, or the fair value. Okay, so do not get yourself confused. When we talk about cost, it does not necessarily mean that cost is cash. Okay, it could be cash equivalent, it could be fair value. All right, so that's why when we talk about initial cost, the computation of initial cost um, depend on the situation. It could be different from one another. Okay, so the recognition criteria. Okay, an item of PPE is recognized as an asset if and only if. Okay, if and only if they met this criteria, and this criteria, okay, you have to meet both criteria because and, okay, not all. Right? Okay, it is probable that future economic benefit associated with the asset will flow to the entity, and the cost of the asset to the entity can be measured reliably. And then again, when we talk about cost, okay, remember, cost can be cash, cost can be cash equivalent, cost can be the fair value. And all of these, okay, can be measured reliably. All right. Okay. And then this recognition criteria applicable to both the initial cost and the subsequent cost incurred on PPE. Okay. For the cost to be recognized as PPE, because the cost, okay, cost, if you cannot capitalize as PPE, then it will be write off as expense in SOPER. All right. Because the cost, if you cannot recognize as PPE, then it will be expense in SOPER. Okay. So for the cost, for subsequent costs, okay, to be included as part of PPE, that cost also you have to test whether it met the recognition criteria. All right. Okay. So let's look at the next one. All right. So what about these two equipment and also the spare parts? All right. What about safety and environmental equipment? Okay, can safety and environmental equipment be recognized as PPE because it does not increase the economic benefit directly? Because if you purchase safety and environmental equipment, did you use directly in the productions of goods or services? No. Okay, so there is a question about this one. Should we expense this amount or should we capitalize this amount as PPE? Okay, the reason why you learn all of this standard, because one day you will become someone who involved in making judgment about the item, whether the item that you buy, do I record this as expense or do I record this as an asset? If I record this as an asset, which type of asset? Is it tangible? Is it intangible? Is it going to produce an economic benefit? Can we measure the cost reliably? So there are lots of questions that you have to ask. That's why we teach you on the standard, so that one day you are able to make a decision. You are able to make a better judgment. Okay, so every time you make a purchase, you have to ask yourself, is it an expense? Is it an asset? So why are we worried about expense or asset? Because what happens if you include everything as an expense? Okay, in your statement of profit or loss, for example, yeah, in your statement of profit or loss, okay, you put everything as an expense. So your expense increased. What happened to your profit? Okay, what happened to your profit? Your profit will be decreased. Okay, will be decreased. So that's why company prefer to capitalize everything if possible, because they don't want to include that huge amount. Because when you purchase property, you purchase plant, you purchase equipment, okay, the company will incur huge amount of money. All right, so it will affect their profit severely. Okay, so they don't want this to happen, so that's why they will always ask question, can we capitalize the cost as an asset? Okay, all right. So what about safety and environmental equipment? Because safety and environmental equipment can be very expensive. All right. So in this case, okay, we can recognize this equipment as PPE. Okay, why? Because they enable an entity to derive future economic benefits from related assets in excess of what could be derived had those items not been acquired, meaning that if we do not purchase this safety equipment, okay, most probably, okay, it can affect the safety of our labor, of our worker. Okay, all right, and then it will affect the production. Okay, so that's why the standard say that, okay, this one can be recognized as PPE. Okay, what about the spare parts? Okay, what about the spare parts? Okay, to for a simple example, you try to imagine if a company own a motor vehicle. Okay, so for a motor vehicle, we have a minor spare part, we have major spare part like engine, for example. Okay, so which one to carry as inventory or expense, and which one that we can recognize in the carrying amount of PPE. Okay, so minor spare part, small spare part, okay, usually carried as inventory because sometimes we purchase in bulk, for example, the screws, nuts, bolt. Okay, so we purchase in bulk. So if you do not use everything, okay, not finish everything in that year, then we can carry the spare part as inventory, and then recognized as expense when it is consumed. But for major spare part, okay, when you purchase the spare part, when you replace the spare part, okay, you can record the replacement of the spare part as property, plant, and equipment if it met the recognition criteria. Okay, next one. Okay, so these are examples of subsequent costs, day-to-day servicing costs. Let's say, for example, we purchase a building, okay, and then we need a maintenance work, okay, to make sure that our building working as it is. Okay, for example, now in UiTM, okay, almost every time they perform maintenance work. Okay, they took this time since there are no students around, so they took this time to clean the roof. Okay, so they clean the wall. Okay, because they have nothing else to do. All right, so they do day-to-day servicing work. Okay, and then the cost that we incur on this work, okay, we only write off as expense because the work that they did not improve the value of the building, did not improve the useful life of the building, but only to maintain. Okay, so one day when you come back, when you are able to come back to campus, is there any possibility for you? No, you already part 5. Okay, so that the building work as usual. We can use the building as usual. Okay, but the cost which comply, okay, any subsequent cost that we incur on the building, for example, okay, for example, renovation cost. Yang ini, for example, repair and maintenance. This is what they are doing right now. Okay, so repair and maintenance. Okay, example below, renovation cost. Okay, this is subsequent cost. Only after you have a building, only after you, let's say, for example, you identify that we need more space. Okay, we have more students, so we need more space. So we need to renovate, we need to add the space. Okay, so can we capitalize or should we only write off as an expense? So renovation cost, usually you incur huge amount of money. So you have to ask this question, can we? All right, so can. okay, because it comply the recognition criteria. It give you more space, okay, it allows you to it give more value to the building, and then it allows you to take more students, okay, generate more money, okay. All right, so you met the recognition criteria.